Hello, 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 hello. You are welcome to our monthly learning series. My name is Maureen Oluwatobi. So I'm just going to wait for us to join. Hello, hello, hello. If you can hear me, if you can see me, drop a message in the chat room so I know you are live. If you can hear me, if you can see me, drop a message. So let's wait for more people to join us so we can begin. Okay. Yep. So let's wait for more persons to join us so we can begin. Oh, thank you, Father. If you can hear me, say hello. If you can hear me, send a message and we are going to begin right away. If you can hear me, drop a message in the chat room so we can begin almost immediately. I don't want to begin without the assurance that you can hear me. So if you can hear me, send a message. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay, hi John, good evening. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, yeah. Damilola, you're welcome. Okay, okay. You are all welcome. Welcome to our first edition of the monthly learning series for Intentional Tribe Community. And our very first class today is Financial Responsibility. So this is a new year, and wisdom demands that every time we enter a new season or enter a new year, it's wise for us to intentionally design how our life is going to pan out, how we are going to manage the time, how we'll manage the resources that we have or the resources we have been given. And after conducting the poll on the WhatsApp community, it was obvious that a lot more persons wanted to learn financial management and financial responsibility. So, a first disclaimer, I'm not a financial guru, I'm not a financial coach, I'm just your sibling who is here to share one or two insights that I've learned as it regards finances and financial management. Some of the things I'm some of the things I've learned over the years, some of the things I've applied, and what I know is actually working and yielding result for me. So I just wanted to share with you guys. That's why it is titled The Basics of Financial Responsibility. Of course, at some point, I'm going to encourage you to find a financial coach, a financial mentor, or other materials that can help you deepen your understanding of financial management. But for today, I'm just here to give you the basics of your financial responsibility or the basics of your journey to financial responsibility. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my slide. If you have questions at any point, do well to ask me in the comment section and we are going to address the question. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my slides. And if you can't hear me at any point, also please let me know in the comment section. All right. So today we're talking about the basics of financial responsibility. All right. So let's start with definition of terms. So we are talking finances, we are talking money, we are talking financial responsibility. What do I mean? And I'm going to be very simple with my definitions because I've come to learn that the simpler the definitions, the easier it is for us to navigate all of this terrain. Growing up, I didn't used to like conversations around money because I felt it was too big, it was too cumbersome and too stressful. But as I've interacted with money, as I've grown older, I've come to learn that you can't escape it. You can't run away from handling money or talking about money or learning about money, right? So it's now important for us to learn some of the rudiments to help us in properly managing money and money matters, right? So one of the most important things I did for myself was to simplify the definition of these terms. And once I was able to simplify it, it was a lot easier for me to navigate. So first definition we have here is money. What is money? If we are talking financial responsibility, we're talking money and wealth. What is money? I've come to learn that money is simply a means of exchange. Whatever you give in exchange for a service that was rendered to you or whatever you receive, right, as a means of exchange for a service that someone rendered to you or you render to someone, that that means of exchange is money. Now, in this day and time, we have come to see that money is simply paper, right? Money is the naira, the dollars, the pounds, the euro that we use. But before we got to this point, people used to use different things, right, as a means of exchange. I think even up till now, some people still use different things as a means of exchange, not just money as we know it, not just the physical paper as we know it. Some people have given land as payment for a service. Some people have given maybe their cars as payment for a service, and that car or that land or whatever they gave, right, as a means of exchange in that context qualifies as money. But for today, we are focusing simply on the physical form, or what is now generally accepted as money, because that is where the focus is. We're not talking about land as a means of exchange. We're talking about money as a means of exchange, right? So money is a means of exchange. It means that for every service you render or every service someone renders you, you are required to give money in exchange, or the person is required to give you money in exchange for the service rendered or for whatever you have purchased. Money, according to the dictionary, is any item or verifiable record as payment for goods and services. So it has to be generally accepted, it has to be verifiable as a means of payment, right, for goods and services. So like I said, money is simply a means of exchange. Now let's talk finance. Today's financial responsibility is also the same thing as money responsibility, but according to dictionary definitions, they have different meanings, right? So while finance is a means of while money is a means of exchange, finance is simply the management of money that you have, right? Finance is simply the management of money. Money is the means of exchange. Finance is the management of money. Money is a means of exchange. Finance is the management of money, right? Now, financial responsibility is your ability or the ability of any individual or any corporation or organization, the ability anybody has to manage money responsibly. That is financial responsibility. I'm going to take that again. If at any point you can't hear me, please let me know in the comment section. I can speak up. So financial responsibility is the ability to manage money responsibly. Like I said, simple definitions always works, right? So the fact that you're able to manage your money responsibly is what financial responsibility is all about. The money that you have, the money that you receive is going to help you do a lot of things, but most importantly, it is a means of exchange, and it's expected for every individual to learn how to manage money. But then as you to play out. Let's talk about we all know and we all have come to the point where we agree that money is important, right? Money is a means of exchange. We spend money, we use money, we get paid for goods and services. But what are some of the benefits of money and money management? Number one, money is very important. The world that we live in today is an economic world. Means that people are constantly doing business. You're buying something, you're selling something, and you're having to exchange money or resources as terms of payment, or terms of payment for the goods and services that you have received. So money is very important in this life, this particular life that we are living. Money is important because we live in an economic world. People are doing businesses, people are offering goods and services, right? And are giving it to people. What they simply receive is money, which is now the exchange that they receive for the goods and service. So in order for you to be a full functional human being in this economic world that we live in, it's important for you to learn how to make money, how to navigate money, or in the general term, how to manage the money that you have received. Number two, money often shows your responsibility and your management skill. When I started learning about finances, I didn't learn about finances very early on in life. But when I began to learn about finances, I began to read books, ask questions, speak to mentors, do some sort of study. I discovered that your ability to manage your money is usually tied to your ability to manage certain responsibilities that will be put into your hand. right? So I got to learn that your money, your ability to manage your money properly, or your ability to be financially responsible, is tied to how you're going to manage other things. So here I'm just going to pause and say that your financial management skill is a transferable skill. That just because you're learning how to manage money today does not mean that this skill is only going to be used when you're managing money. How you manage money can help you in how you manage relationships. It can help you in how you manage your gifts and your talents. It can help you in how you manage responsibilities that are given to you on a general term. So money management, like I said, is a very, very, very important transferable skill. When you learn how to properly manage money, or when you learn how to become financially responsible, it's going to play out in how you manage other responsibilities that will come your way, right? Number three, money management helps you plan. Money management helps you plan. When you have an intention, when you have a goal, when you have a destination that you want to get to, the absence of financial usually properly. Let's say you want to build a house and you know that this house is going to take you 20 million or 50 million or 200 million. It's going to be a lot easier for you to navigate that project that you are about to undertake when you have the resources, or when you have an understanding of how the resources would come. When you have this money, or you have the ability or understanding of how the resources is going to come, it makes planning a lot more easier for you. You're not cracking your head, you're not beating yourself up, you're not being worried about where the money is going to come from, right? So money management helps you plan projects, it helps you plan activities, and it simply just helps your overall life. Number four, money management helps you fund your assignments, your purpose, your calling, whatever you choose to call it, right? I'm sorry, I think I see an error in my spelling of assignment. Please, I'm so sorry, guys. So your money or money management is going to help you fund your assignment. Everyone that exists upon the face of the earth has a mission, has an assignment, has a vision that God has given to us. Now, in order to properly steward this assignment that we have been given, and if we want to make a lot more or wider impact concern or in the area of the assignments that we have been given, we need finances, right? Especially when you want to scale, when you want to do it better, when you want to be much more impactful, you need finances to fund the things you want to do. Imagine that God gave you a vision, and the vision that God gave you was to build a university in a location where there are no schools. You know that in order for you to fund that particular vision that God has given you, you need finances, right? So I'm not one of those persons that downplays the importance of finances. Yes, I don't over elevate it, right? But at the same time, I don't downplay it. There's a balanced way, there's a balanced approach to navigating conversations around finance. So for me, one of the most important benefits that I've come to discover that money plays in our life is that it helps you fund your assignment, it helps you fund your project, right? Number five, money and money management helps you reduce stress. So this is one benefit that I really love, because the state of our health, the state of our mind usually plays a significant role in the health that we enjoy in life. It plays a significant role in our general life outcome. If you're under money stress, if you're thinking so much about where to make money, you're thinking so much about the lack of funds in your bank account, or if you focus too much on digits, the single digits in your bank account statement, or in your right, or the balance on your bank account, if you're thinking about it for so long and you do not have hope of where money is going to come from, it has the ability to put you under stress. And once you are under stress, automatically it means that your creativity to a large extent is also going to be shut down. And once that has been shut down, the other aspects of your life can also begin to feel the impact of the stress that was caused by money, right? There's a research that was carried out, and it was discovered that of the top three reasons why marriages fail, money happens to be one of the top three, whether the absence of it or the presence of it or the lack of management of it in families. So money management helps you reduce stress. Number six, money management helps you make empowered decisions. Now, I've been in coaching sessions or counseling sessions with different people who, simply because of a lack of funds, simply because they're not able to make certain provisions for themselves, they are now put in a position where they know that the environment they are in is harmful to their health, but they can't exit. They can't even take a trip. They can't escape because they do not have the financial resources to do so. Imagine a wife being in an abusive marriage and you're having a conversation with that wife and she tells you, oh, I know that my husband is abusive. Or flip it might also be the husband that's in the abusive marriage or relationship, and they know that this marriage or this is abusive, but they can't leave. They can't make any other decision because they are under financial stress. They can't envision their life outside that environment because, again, their account balance is reading 0.0. But when you have certain level of finance in your pocket, when you have certain level of finance your way, right, it can help you make empowered decision. That's one aspect. Then this making empowered decision is also tied to your assignment or your purpose. Many times, the reason some of us are not able to make some worthwhile decisions, pursuing the dreams and the visions that God has given us, is because of the gap, right, in our finances. So when you have finances, you're able to make a lot of plans. You're able to make strong decisions because you know that you have the finances to follow through, or you have the finances, right, to make that your plan a reality. And the last benefit I'm going to talk about today is that money and its management helps you give to others. Now, one of the most important reasons why we make money, why we do all of these things as regards money and finances, is simply because one of the most important reasons why we make money is because you are in a position where you can help other people. You see people in need, you are not handicapped, right? You're not handicapped, you're not paralyzed. You know that this person needs help. You're not telling the person bless you when you should be giving the person food. So money and money management helps you give to others. It helps you be a blessing to other people, right? Now, I talked earlier about how I did not learn about money very early on in life, right? But they say when a person wakes up, that is their good morning. So when I discovered that, oh, I'm not so wise in finances or money management or financial management, I began to develop myself. I began to improve myself, began to improve my mind. So here are four ways I'm going to suggest that you improve your money management or your financial knowledge. Number one, learn to read books, right? There are a lot of financial books out there that can help you. Some of the things I've come to learn about finances, about money management, is usually tied in books. I wish I could recommend some books here, but okay, if I'm going to recommend, one of the books I'm going to suggest you get is The Richest Man in Babylon. That book is going to teach you a lot of things about money management. If I'm going to recommend another, is Psychology of Wealth. Very important book, very vital. Get a copy. There's also The Psychology of Money, another very important book. Then let me try to remember some of the books I have read. There's the Jewish Phenomenon, right? I love the Jews. I do a lot of study on the Jews because they happen to be, or they seem to be, a very prosperous group of people in the world today. So I read a lot of books that were written by Jews or written about Jews. So the Jewish Phenomenon is one of such books. So I'm going to strongly recommend. And right here, there's another book, Think Like a Billionaire, is also another book I'm going to recommend. um sorry guys, I didn't know I was going to recommend my personal book. So Think and Grow Rich is also very important. Yeah, Think and Grow Rich is also another book that I'm going to recommend. Then The Parable of Dollars, that's Pastor Sam Adeyemi, is also another book I'm going to recommend on improving your financial knowledge or your money knowledge. If I remember another one, I'm going to let you know as we progress. But you have to commit to reading books. You have to commit to developing your mindset around the subject of money, around the subject of finances. Yeah, I just remembered another one. It was written by a Jewish rabbi. Very important, right? Then there's this book by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, The School of Money. Is also very important. You can also get a copy of the School of Money. Yeah. So read books, greatly going to help you. Number two, you can watch a lot of videos online as regards money management. There are a lot of pages I follow on Instagram that teach me a lot about money. I can recommend, if you want me to recommend some of those videos for you, but you have to watch videos to improve your money, right? Your money management or your financial knowledge. Then following up to that is number three, I'm going to advise you to follow financial coaches on the internet. I'm going to recommend Financial Jennifer. I like her energy. Then I'm also going to recommend a couple of people online. Clever Girl Finance. Clever Girl Finance is on YouTube. I'm also going to recommend her. Who else? I can't remember some of the videos that I watch, but just search for financial coaches online. And lastly, I'm going to suggest that you read the Bible. There's so much wisdom and insight, right, concerning money and money management in the Bible, especially the book of Proverbs, right? So read the Bible to improve your mind. Another scripture that I'm going to recommend is Second Corinthians chapter 9, especially 8, 9, and 10, right? That's one chapter of the Bible that can help you understand money and how to manage it. So these are some of the things that I would recommend that you read to improve your financial knowledge and management. So as we progress, I want to talk to you about what I call the four arms of money management, right? We said finances, right, is the management of money. So in the four arms of money management, number one, you have to make money. Money management is not just about managing what you already have. It's a full circle. There's a part where you make money, there's a part where you save money, there's a part where you invest, and then when you spend money. These are some of the most frequent things that we do as regards money and finances. So every financial decision you are ever going to make falls under one of these four arms of money management. Is it that you're buying something, which is you spending money, or you're paying for something that you know is going to help you bring in more money, which is investment, or you're putting money aside because you want to buy a particular thing, that is you saving money, and then you offer goods or services to people, and in exchange they give you money. That is you simply making money. So the four arms of money management: number one, you make money; number two, you save money; number three, you invest money; and number four, you spend the money, right? So you don't just make money and not spend it. You don't just make money and save it and invest everything. That's not how you do life. If you neglect one of these four arms of money, the gap is going to be obvious in how you live life. The gap is really going to be obvious. If you're making money and you're not spending the money, is going to show. If you're spending the money, you're not investing the money, the gap is going to show. If you're spending money and you're not making more money, the gap is going to show, right? To stay in a place of equilibrium, right? You have to make, save, invest, and spend. So these are my four arms of money management, and I would want you to think about them as we're going to dive into talking about them one after the other, but I want you to note them. So whenever you want to make a financial decision, you're asking yourself, this financial decision I'm about to make, is it going to help me make more money? Is it going to help me save money? Is it going to help me invest money? Or is it making me spend money? So I don't like when I spend money and money leaves my body, especially when I spend money on certain things. So let me give you a practical example. So a couple of months ago, for some reason, we had power issues and my laptop power pack got burnt. So I figured, okay, why not? Let's buy a new power pack. So I went to the location where I was to buy the power pack and I asked them for the power pack that I wanted, right? So when the person in charge brought the power pack, of the power pack, my chest, I felt it. I felt it. So I was like, okay, why is it this expensive? Why am I having to spend this much on power pack? Then she now explained to me that my laptop specification or my type of laptop with the whatever is why my power pack was that expensive. I'm like, who sent me? So when I was spending that money, I told the lady that I felt virtue. I felt it as though virtue was leaving me because I was spending money. But the consolation I had is the fact that this money that I'm spending, yeah, it's an investment. I'm going to spend the money to make money again. So it paid me, but it didn't pay me so much. So whenever you're making a financial purchase like that, if you're like me, you feel it, right? Especially when you didn't plan for it. So the power pack now, I didn't plan for it, but I had to I had to buy it, right? So make money, save money, invest money, and spend the money. So let's talk about making money on your money management, on your financial responsibility journey, or your financial development journey, your financial independence journey, whatever you choose to call it. Money management is very important because you have to make the money if you're going to spend. When I used to live in Lagos, my friends they would say that don't come out in Lagos. Immediately you come out in Lagos, you're going to spend money because it's as though once you leave your house, once you go out, right, one way or the other, you have to spend money. Is it that you're paying for transportation, or you're paying for food, or you're paying for the clothes you're going to wear, or you're paying for good service that excuse me, or you're paying for good service that someone is going to render to you. So if money is going to leave you like that, it's just wisdom for you as a person to learn how to make more money, or for you to learn how to make money. So I'm going to stop at this point and encourage you, if you're joining us here and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channels, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Okay. So money management number one. In order to manage your money, one of the most important things you need to do is to make more money. Increase your chances of money generation, increase your chances of making money. So number one, you can get a job, right? Getting a job is one of the roadmaps that you can take to making more money. Number two, you can start a business. Think about a business idea that you have. Think about a solution that you can render. Think about something that you believe that people in your neighborhood or people in your environment need. And if you can solve the problem, why not solve it? So you can start a business. Number three, you can create a product. Excuse me. Test. So number three, like I said, you can create a product. Creating a product simply means creating something that you know that people need, and then you give it to them in exchange for money. Now, this class that I'm teaching today, I could have decided to create it as a product and only teach it to people who paid for it, right? This would have been one product for me. This could have been one stream of income. But I decided that why not give it out for free to members of the Intentional Tribe community, because you guys are my siblings and we are doing life together. So you can create a product. Is there something you know? Is there something you can do? Is there a solution that you know that once you package it properly, people are going to buy it from you because you are a master in that particular thing? So you can create a product around it. And this product you're creating, it could be a physical product or it can be a digital product. Physical product like journals, yeah, like journals, or digital product like ebooks. So the choice is usually yours. A physical product can also be outfit, clothing items, maybe shoes, bags, maybe food, or something like that, a physical product. And then an online product, maybe an ebook, a song, what else? An online course. All of these things are different digital products that you can create. Now, in as much as maybe you have a job or you're starting a business, I'm going to strongly recommend that you create a product, because by creating a product, you are putting your money to come into your pocket. When you create a product, you are giving yourself, it's like you're opening up the windows of heaven for the money to pour, because much more people are going to need it. And you have over 8 billion people in the world that might be your potential customers. Or maybe you divide 8 billion people by 2, that's like 4 billion. Or you divide 4 billion by 2, that's 2 million. Or you divide 2 billion by 2, that's 1 million. Like, the opportunity that you have for people to buy your product is actually very wide if you do proper marketing, proper advertising, and proper positioning. But creating a digital product is something I recommend in this day and time, because we're in the internet, in the era of the internet, we're in the knowledge era where knowledge sells. People are paying people for their knowledge. People are paying people to peep into their brains or to pick their brain. People are paying people for their suggestions or their ideas on how to do certain things. So you can create a product. And then number four, you can offer a service. You see that thing you can do and you know that you can do it, but it's only your friends in your environment that know you can do it. This year should not be the year where it's only the people in your small circle that know that you can do that thing that you can do. That gift you have, that skill that you have to put yourself in the position where you offer it as a service. You can choose one or you can choose to combine it however you want to do it and offer it as a service, right? Because people are out there looking for who is going to teach them, because our conventional education is as interesting as it is. People are looking for alternative sources of knowledge acquisition. You offering your service, you offering the knowledge you have as a service, is another opportunity for you to make money. So offer that your skill, offer that talent that you have as a service. Structure an organization and offer the service structurally as a business person, right? And you have the capacity to reach out to a lot more people. Just have an intentional system that you have created for yourself. Another way you can make money is to become an affiliate. An affiliate is simply somebody who has put themselves in a position to sell and market or distribute a product. So you can be an affiliate of something. I can invite different people who are affiliates to market the book. How many or whatever number of sales they have made, right? So you can invite different people come to sell what you have created, the product that you have or the service that you have. Do you get? So become an affiliate or create an affiliate marketing network for your product, for your service, whether your digital product or your physical product or your service. Affiliate marketing is one way to make money. Number two, investing your income. So when you invest, we're going to talk about investing later on as we progress. But when you invest your income, one of the things you're doing is that you're giving yourself an opportunity to make more money, even though it is in the long run, right? Getting a job, maybe offering a service, some of these things might be short term, but if you want to make money long term, I'm going to encourage that you invest money because it is you making money. We're going to talk about investment, but these are some of the things you can do to make money. Number one, create a service, become an affiliate or invest your income. So let's talk about number two, saving money. Now, just because money comes into your hands, just because money comes to you, does not mean you should spend everything that comes. So I used to fall into this trap where I spend everything that comes. And the lie I used to tell myself then was that this money that I have is not enough to even save. Let me swap internet connection. Yeah. So I used to tell myself a couple of years ago that this money that I have is not even enough. So there's no point saving it. But brothers and sisters, until I learned, wisdom dawned on me, and I discovered that saving initially starts out helping you develop a habit. It helps you develop a culture. It helps you reparent your mind. It helps you re-engineer your mind as regards money, how money comes, how money goes, and how you structure the finances. Okay. So what I had to do then was now to re-engineer my mind. So I told myself that what I'm doing initially when I embark on my saving adventure, I'm not saving lump sum money because the lump sum money was not there. So I'm not saving big money. I'm just going to start building habits, building a lifestyle of saving. So when any money comes into my hand, I have a system of removing a particular amount, small amount, and then keeping it aside because what I want to do is build my habit of saving, right? So when you have done that, once you have designed that system that helps you save small amounts of money, you can now get to the point where you now begin to save towards a goal. So the difference between saving and investing, it means different things to different people. But if you want to save money for anything, right, you should know that saving is usually money that you keep aside in order to achieve a particular goal. Maybe you want to buy a new laptop, but when you check the amount of income coming into your hand at the end of the month or at the end of the week, it is not so big. You can't open your eyes or close your eyes and just pay the money for the laptop. So what you do is you create a system that when money comes, you remove a particular percentage or remove a particular amount from that money that has come to you. You keep it aside and you tell yourself that this money that has come in is not enough to buy the laptop, but I can remove a particular percentage and keep it aside. I'll keep saving that until the money is complete for me to buy a laptop. So when you are saving, you're saving towards a goal. Usually, you are saving towards a goal. You are keeping money aside to achieve a particular goal, right? Or to reach something that you have and to reach a goal or to buy something that you want to buy. So excuse me. So this saving can be short term, it can be medium term, it can be long term. It depends on what you're trying. So if you're saving money for rent, right, you know that I'm keeping money aside at the end of this saving or at the end of the year or at the end of 6 months, I'm going to commit this money to pay my rent. If you're buying a piece of land, it's continuous. You're going to have to do that for a period of time, right? So saving money is very important. It's going to help you sort out some financial in the long run. So saving is one way. My internet. I'm sorry guys. My internet keeps fluctuating. So saving is one of the strategies or one of the arms for financial management. So you can use different platforms to save. You can use Piggyvest, you can use Carrywise. I won't advise you to use your bank account, but if you bank with a bank, I would not advise you to save with your savings account because sometimes you can put money in your savings account hoping that they're going to save the money for you. And by the end of the month, let's say you put 50K and maybe they're charging you bank a lot, whatever charges, whatever charges. You might just discover that your money that was 50,000 when you put it that reduced to 48,800 and something naira. Your chest will do you somehow. Because most banks do not have a system of giving sensible interest on savings. Teach you how to save. Okay, we are back, but that's not the internet I want. Okay, yeah, so if you can hear me, let me know as I continue. Can you hear me, my darlings? Yeah, so I want to believe you can hear me now. So I was talking about saving. So if you want to save, find maybe some of these other fintech platforms that give you good interest on your saving. If your bank is a good bank, then you can save using your bank savings account if they would normally give you good interest on your savings. Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section, please. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you. All right, so that's that on saving. Like I said before, my internet fluctuated. I said as we progress, I'm going to teach you how to do the breakdown in what I call my percentage wisdom, right? So I'm just teaching you, these are what I call the arms of financial management. So I've talked about making money, I've talked about saving money. Now I want to talk about investing your money now. So I said that money is many things to different people. Some people, they make money simply because they want to look good. Some people, they make money because they want to give it out, philanthropy. Some people make money simply because they want to use it for charity. They want to use it to fund their purpose. Some people make money because they want to recognized by society as wealthy people. Whatever spectrum you fall in, money again is different things to different people. But one of the things I know that money is that money is a leverage that you can use to make more money. So when money comes into your hand, it becomes a leverage that you use to make more money. And this wisdom for me, I found it, I was taught, let me not say I found it, somebody taught me, and the wisdom is from Second Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it because I would not want to assume that we all know what I'm talking about from that scripture. So let me read Second Corinthians chapter 9. If you see the scripture, you can put it in the comment section so everyone is going to read it together. So Second Corinthians chapter 9, verse 10, it said, "Now the one who provides seed for the sower and bread for food will also provide and multiply your seed and increase the harvest of your resources." I'm reading the CSB translation. Now, what the scripture is letting me know is that when money comes into my hand, I can use the money for a lot of things, right? That money might be a seed that I'm going to sow to make more money. That money can also be the bread that I'm going to eat, maybe use it to buy something that I'm going to eat. That money can also be saved. You get? So this is where I get a lot of my financial knowledge from as regards money. This particular scripture, I recommended it earlier, right? So anytime money comes into my hand, I see that money that has come in as a leverage. I can use it to make more money. But in order for me to get to that point, I must now recognize that money is a tool that I'm going to use to achieve different things I'm going to achieve. Money becomes a tool for me and it becomes a tool for you. But like I said, money is leverage that I use to make more money. Leverage because it helps me do the things that I want to do. It helps me achieve the things that I want to achieve. It helps me pursue the things that I want to pursue, right? And it helps me meet certain goals that I want to meet. But for this segment now, I want to talk to you about investing. I'm trying to paste the scripture for you in the comment section, but I don't know why I can't. Oh, okay, I think it's too long. Yeah. So investment is simply when you put your money in a vehicle and give it some time for that money that you have put in that vehicle to give you more money. So anytime you put money anywhere and that money you have put gives you more money, that is investment. The most popular money vehicles or investment vehicle that a lot of people know is MMM, because MMM is very quick and a lot of people cashed out. But for a lot of people, it also ended in tears because that's not a wholesome way to make money. But anytime you invest your money, you put is happening is that you are investing. So, and there are different types of investments that you can explore. Number one, you can save your money in your dollar account, or you can convert your naira if you're a Nigerian, or convert the money in your local currency into dollars, into euro, into pounds, into any other currency that you see as viable or profitable, right? So saving in dollars, saving in euros, saving in pounds is one, it can be a means of investment for you. So anytime, let's use dollar as an example, anytime dollar goes up and your local currency comes down, your money is increasing because you saved it in dollar. If you eventually choose to convert the money you saved in dollar into your local currency, you would have made more money, right? There's also treasury bill. I've not dived deep into treasury bill. I'm still studying it, so I can't say anything about treasury bills for now, right? Then there's also crypto. Crypto is also another investment vehicle that different people are using to make money. So there is short term, long term crypto investment strategies that you can employ. I'm not a crypto advisor, but I happen to know one or two persons who have invested in crypto and they made some money. So this is a joke. This is a side gist. So one time, my husband bought crypto, right? And now told me that I wanted to buy crypto, but I did not have a personal wallet. I wanted to buy my crypto in my husband's account. So I sent my husband the money. My husband did not buy that crypto for me. He didn't buy it. He used the money to do other things, but I'm suspecting that he did. But he keeps telling me that the ice cream that he gave me one time is my crypto money that he used to buy it. Because the reason that can happen is because the wallet is not mine. I don't know anything about crypto management, how it rises and how it falls. I just know that sometimes it trends. People weep that, oh, crypto has dipped. I happen to know one or two terminologies, but I don't know anything about crypto. So I'm saying this to say that before you invest in crypto, make sure you know what crypto is about. So your money is not going to japa or disappear, right? But crypto is an investment vehicle that you can use to invest your money. And then one of the most exciting ones for me is stocks. I I buy stocks and I buy stocks a lot. So you can buy stock because you either call them stock or you call them shares. So you can buy stock. S- Stock is simply when you choose to invest your money in already established companies or companies that you believe have the propensity to make more money or to increase in their profit, right? So there are certain companies that are in the stock market or certain companies that have been listed in the stock exchange market that they are selling shares. What they are simply doing is they're asking people to invest money in the company. They will take the money that you invested and do business with the money. As the company makes profit or as the company increases in their profit or in their income or revenue, right? You, an investor in that company, you're also going to make money. So the way stocks work for me is that I don't have to work, right? Once I've invested the money in the company, I'm not the one that is making the money increase. I simply took my money that I saved up or took from another venture and put in that company. So let me use Apple. Apple as an example. So Apple as a company is actually profitable. Now, as Apple is now, I don't work in Apple, but I know that they're profitable. I can decide that I'm going to take some of the money that I have and invest it in their company. As they make money and make more profit, that money that I put there is also increasing because I'm an investor in that company. So you can buy stock. Stocks are one of the most exciting things that you can do as regards your investment. But again, for me, I'm doing stock long term. I'm not doing it short term. I've bought some stocks right now that anytime I go back to check it, I see how it is appreciating, and I'm so excited. You know how they say that Warren Buffett started saving when he was a lot younger, and now he's worth how much billion, how much trillion. I'm not worth that trillion or billion and all of that, but I'm investing. I'm going to get to a point too in my own future. They say, Maureen, she invested in stock that time that this company just started. She invested, she bought this one, she bought that one. See now it has matured, it has compounded, her interest has compounded. So I'm investing for my future, right? You can also invest in stock. If at any point you want to sell your stock, maybe the money has accrued to a particular level and you want to withdraw your stock, you can sell it. Someone is going to buy it and then they pay you back the equivalent of what you have sold. So these are some of the types of investment that I'm going to encourage you to do because I know that they are helpful. Some of the apps you can use to invest in stock or dollar, right, is number one is Bamboo. You can use Trove, you can use RiseVest. Of these three apps that I recommended, I use two. I use RiseVest and I use Bamboo. I've not used Trove because for me, when I learned, I got to discover that okay, Bamboo and Trove they are almost alike. So I didn't want to splinter my finances on different platforms. So I use Bamboo, I use RiseVest, I use oh yeah, another type of investment that you can add is money market fund. Again, that's you investing in another company. So money market fund is another type of investment. So I use different applications for investment. There's the money market fund, there's ARM, there are different companies. I think there is Stanbic, what other companies. Yeah, just do your research before you put your money anywhere so you're not going to weep. Remember when I started, I said that this session we're having is simply me sharing some of my insights with you, that I'm not an expert in money management. I'm not an expert in finances. I'm just sharing what I know because I know that it's going to help someone. So you can use Bamboo, study it well, research it before you buy anything, before you invest in stock, in crypto, in treasury bill, or even put your dollar anywhere or money market fund. Ensure that you do extensive research. And then lastly, spending money. Like I said, money is a means of exchange, and the way life is wired now, you are going to spend money. So wisdom is required in how you choose to spend your money. If you already know that you're going to spend money, it is wisdom for you to plan how you're going to spend it. Don't just spend all the money that comes. Don't just save all the money that comes. Don't just invest all the money that comes. There's wisdom, right, in how to spend your money. Now, let me share what I call this percentage wisdom with you, and then we're going to wrap up the class for the day. I'm going to have to bring my book because for me, this is usually very practical. So I told you earlier that I was going to teach you how to do your proper financial structuring. Now, this is something that works for me. It works for my family, and we usually recommend because it has helped us and still helping me up to this point, right? So anytime money comes into your hand, any amount of money that comes into your hand, right? Whether it's your salary, whether it is payment for a service you rendered, whether it is profit from a product that you sold, that money automatically becomes 100%. That money that you made, each of that money becomes 100%. That's why we have this 100% whole here, right? So anytime money comes into your hand, I need you to see the money as 100%. If that money is 100%, how are you going to divide it? How are you going to diversify it in the different things that you spend money for? That is now where the wisdom comes. That is now where the financial responsibility comes in, because now the money has come in. It is 100%. How are you going to divide it? So if you are a Christian and you're in this life class, you already know that anytime money comes into our hands as Christians, we pay a tithe of 10%, right? And that 10% that we pay is a generally accepted percentage, even though some people pay more than 10%, but the base percentage for tithing, for people that tithe, is 10%. Now, that 10% that you are required to pay, that 10% you're required to take out as a tithe, I hope you know that that 10% is with the assumption that you have 100%. So if you're paying 10% of something, 10% is a percentage of 100. It's a percentage of the 100. So like I said, anytime any money comes into your hand, see that money as 100%, right? And then before you get to the part where you start spending your money, I would want you to write down the different things that you spend money on. Remember, I said financial management is how you manage the finances properly, how you manage the finances responsibly. So if you can hear my voice, I would want you to pick up a pen and a notebook right now and write down the things that you spend money on, the major things that you spend money on, and we are going to break them into different categories. Okay, so if you're a Christian, let's start with the tithe, the one that is always accepted, tithe being 10%. Let's The next most important thing that we do with money is maybe food. So you put food, right? Maybe you do clothing, you do personal development, you do investment, you do savings, you do charity, benevolence, or black tax, whatever you choose to call it. Okay. So when you write down all of these things, all these places that your money goes to, then you can also put welfare, house rent. So when you have written down, are you following? When you have written down all of these different things that your money goes to, in order for you to do this percentage wisdom that I want to share, you have to get into your statement, you have to get into your bank, get into your financial habits. So you pay attention to the different places that your money goes. Yes, my sister mentioned your health. Yeah. So include your health in all of this. And so all of this, when you study your money habits, where your money goes to, the different things that you spend money on, the different things that are opening their mouth to swallow your money, when you write them all down, you now check to see which of them is taking more of your money. I know that many times you spend money without doing this calculation to know where our money is actually going. So a couple of years ago, I did this calculation and I discovered that, well, all of my money was going into charity and into black tax. Even though my money going into charity and black tax is not a bad thing, but I also discovered that while I am contributing money to black tax, charity, and benevolence, I'm not saving money or I'm not investing money. I'm usually at the red, right? I'm not putting money aside for my health, or I'm not paying attention to my personal development simply because I was not intentional with how I'm structuring my finances. So when I decided that, okay, let's be serious in this life, and I wrote down all of the things that I spend money on, and I began to say, okay, of all these ones now, on my scale of preference, which of them is most important, which of them is least important? Because when you check where your money goes, you just discover that you spend money on things that are not very important like that. Maybe you're spending money out of peer pressure, or you're spending money because something is in vogue. All of that is not financial wisdom, right? So, Ken just said rent. Yeah, I mentioned rent. There's data, there's transportation. Okay, there's data, there's transportation, and there's food. I mentioned food. Now that we have written down all of these things that our money goes to, let's now do what I call the percentage wisdom. But first, we have to group some of these things into one particular category. So, for example, now tithe is 10%. That is already, you have removed the tithe. What you have now is 90%. So, before we get into the breakdown of the 90%, let's first structure everything wisely into categories to help us properly manage the finances properly. So for food, for clothing, maybe food, clothing, and welfare, right? We can put that into one category and call that welfare. So the money you spend on food, the money you spend on clothing, the money you spend on data and transportation, you can call that welfare. Okay. So all of those things that fall into the same category, you can just put them into one box so you don't have too many splinters, right? That is taking your money. So when you have welfare, right? So the next thing is your health on its own. You can put your health into welfare if you want. I'll go ahead and put it, but if you don't put the health into welfare, you want to leave health on its own category, is also totally fine. Remember, this thing is bespoke to your life. You design it how you want, but by all means, please, I encourage you to design it for yourself, right? So I'm going to put health inside welfare. Then, so then there's now the segment of personal development. For me, personal development is an entire category on its own because I'm usually paying for courses, I'm usually buying books, I'm usually paying for different opportunities that contribute to my development. Maybe I'm taking a course, a professional certification or something. So personal development for me is an entire category on its own, right? So I have welfare here. I'm just going to start writing it down. So there's welfare, yeah. Then there is my personal development. Where else? Where else? Transportation is under welfare. Personal development is one. Then investment. There's now the category for investment. There's a category for saving, right? And there's category for me. One of the things I care about is self-care. So I also have a category for self-care. So I put my clothing under my welfare, right? But I have that's a clothing into welfare, into self-care. So welfare is not just me. Welfare is okay now the entire household, my children, my husband, house rent, all of those things. Yeah. So I now put my self-care, yes, savings, self-care, and then I have charity and benevolence. Charity and benevolence. So what else is left? So like I said, you can choose to put house rent under welfare, or you can just keep house rent on its own. But for the sake of this conversation this evening, I'm going to leave rent on its own, right? Because I want us to be very intentional. And then data, you can leave data in your welfare, right? Your data subscription, the phone calls that you make, the airtime that you buy each month, right? You can leave it under welfare, or you can just put it under its own category. So let's do data and then tithe. So for me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Based on this calculation that I have here now, I have nine different categories, 9 different things that I put money in, right? And based on this 9, I'm not going to divide this 100% that I have for in to these 9 things that I have here. So I have, remember I said every sum that comes into your hand is 100%. So each time money comes into my hand and it comes into my pocket. So for me, before I continue, let me pause here to say that if you're in business, right, you're offering a business service, your personal finance and your business finance are two separate income streams, right? So what this calculation I'm doing for you now, I'm doing it for your personal finance, right? If we have time, I'm going to help you also. It's almost the same thing. You can also do the same thing for your business finance, but let your business finance and your personal finance try as much as possible not to overlay. That's if you can help it. I know that if you're starting out a business, it might not be very easy to do that because you're selling what you're selling to make money. You're selling what you're selling because you want to eat. That is fine. But as you progress, you must now get to the point where you now begin to separate your personal finance with your business finance. So this percentage wisdom that I'm sharing with you now is based on your personal finance, right? So if we're having this personal finance, I believe that any money that comes to you enters a bank account. Sorry. That is smoothie. I'm sorry, guys. I have to take my percentage, my food percentage for the week. I have to make sure it's complete. And of course, my water percentage for the day. I also have to make sure it's complete. So when money comes into your hands, right? I believe it comes into a personal account. So once that money has come into a personal account, let's use 200K as the money that comes into our account, right? So this 200K that came into our account now is 100%. How are we going to wisely and responsibly divide this 100K into these 9 things that I've identified as the areas that my money goes to, right? So let's do the math. One of the things you're going to notice is that in these 9 things that I listed here, I put into consideration the 4 arms of money that I talked to you about: making money, saving money, investing money, and spending money. The four of them, I consider them in this percentage sharing that I'm doing. So let's remove 10% of 200,000. Somebody tell me in the comment room. 10% of 200,000. How much is that? Somebody tell me in the chat room. Quickly, quickly, quickly. 10% of 200,000. I'm waiting for your message in the chat room. 10% of 200,000. Yeah, so 20K. So 10% of 200,000 is 20K. So automatically it means that your tithe is 20K once 200 comes. So anytime a lump sum money comes into your hand, you remove the 10% tithe and you send it to wherever you usually pay your tithe. Now, your welfare, your personal development, and all of these things, one of the wisest things you can do for yourself is to do your spending in percentages. You see how it was easy for us to calculate tithe and say 20% is tithe, right? Because that's how it was stipulated in the Bible. Very easy. That tithe wisdom that was in the Bible, apply it to your life now. So your welfare, your personal development, investment, and all of these things that we have mentioned, which of it, right, would you want to, which of it would you want to put more money in? So let's say now that I've put 20,000 out of 200%, I have 180,000. So how am I going to divide this my 100% into all of these things? So I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and then I'll tell you what I did. So let's see. Welfare usually takes more money because that is spending money. Oh my Lord. So let's do welfare at 20%. Okay. Let's do rent as 10%. Okay. That's already 40%. Let's do, yes, welfare normally takes the most. Yeah. So personal development, I can choose to do personal development at a 5%. Investment, I can do investment 10%, so 10, 30, 40, 50. I can do charity and benevolence, let's say 8%, or so let me just leave it at round figures. So charity and benevolence 10%, 10, 30, 40, 50, 60. So investment, let's say I'm saving money to buy something. What will I buy? I don't know. So let's say saving 5%. I'm going to do savings 5% is too small. So let me do savings. Investment, let me do 15%, savings 10%, self-care 5%, data, that one is like 2% because so data 3%. I increase personal development, or which one will I increase now? I increase welfare to 22%. Okay, so let me calculate what I have here: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 60. Hold on, I'm doing maths. 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so based on what I have here, I've already spent 80%. So that means I have to increase something. So welfare increases automatically. Welfare becomes 32%. I have 10% left to share. So I can leave maybe 5% for miscellaneous, because if I did not put miscellaneous in this thing, Ibitayo will not be happy with me because she wrote miscellaneous here. So let's do 5% miscellaneous. We have 5 more percent. So I can put extra 3% in investment, right? I have 2% more. I put that extra 2% in rent. Right. So let me walk you through what I did now. So 10% tithe, welfare is 32%, personal development is 5%, investment is 18%, savings is 10%, self-care is 5%. Personal development and self-care should not be the same. So I'm going to reduce self-care to 4%, personal development 6%, because personal development should be better than ice cream and all of that. So personal development 6%, investment 18%, savings 10%, self-care 10%, charity and benevolence 10%, rent 12%, data 3%, miscellaneous 5%. So if I add up all of these things together, so let's see how many percent it gives us. There's 5. Where's my calculator? To make sure that I'm correct. Let's see. So 5 plus 10, 5 plus 10 is 15. 15 plus 32 is 47. 47 plus 6 is 53. 53 plus 18, 71. 71 plus 10, 81. 81 plus 4. 81 plus 4 is 85. 85 plus 10 is 95. So that means I overspent. I did the calculation too much. Normally, when I finish all the documentation or all the percentage sharing, everything should be 100%. So it automatically means that I overdid the budgeting, so I have to cut out something. So there are questions in the chat room. What's the difference between investment and savings? I'm going to come back to that. Please, when does entertainment fall? Entertainment comes under self-care. Entertainment comes under self-care or welfare if you choose. But me, I put entertainment into self-care because the movie, the date night, and the ice cream is all self-care. So that's where it comes in. So difference between savings and investment. Investment is you're keeping money aside, so that money is going to make money for you. Or you're putting money in a business, or buying maybe stock, dollar, or in a vehicle that is going to increase that money for you. While savings is you putting money together with the intention that once the money gets to a particular amount, you're going to use that money to buy something. So let's say I want to buy this pen, and this pen is 1 million. Okay. If this pen is 1 million and I have only 500K so far, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep saving money until it gets to 1 million. Then I'll go and buy the pen. So when you are saving money, you're keeping money aside with the intention that this money that I'm saving, I want to use it to buy something. But investment, you're not investing to buy anything, you're just investing. So the money is just going to keep increasing for you. So that's the difference between investment and savings. Yeah. So your date night, movie night, entertainment does not fall under miscellaneous. It actually falls under self-care for me. Miscellaneous is usually small things that might just come up. Maybe someone comes to visit you and you want to give them transport. Maybe what example will I give now? Maybe you bought something in stock. Maybe you bought things under welfare, right? And after maybe a month or after 2 months of buying in bulk, maybe Maggi or vegetable oil just finishes, and you want to buy it without doing all this calculation. You can just go to your miscellaneous pocket and then use it to buy what you want to buy. Another very important thing that people usually budget for is emergency. So you can either call it emergency, or you can also call it miscellaneous. Yeah. So some people have miscellaneous funds, some people have emergency funds. So miscellaneous is just all those spontaneous buying that happens. So you don't have to take money from any other very important place and put it there. So you see this calculation that we did now. So do it for your life, do it for different areas of your life. Now, once you have finished doing this calculation, the next thing you should do that I strongly recommend is to write it down. So as the money comes into my hand, I have 2 books here that I call either my book of wealth or my money book, or my money moves book. So there is where I do all the calculation. So how do we handle school fees? So if you have gotten to school fees points, you now have to restructure this thing in such a way that you now maybe take out money from certain places and now create a new sheet, which is now school fees, and you now allocate its own percentage. So in this my sheet now, for example, there's no school fees. But once school fees happens now, automatically I'm going to reduce charity and benevolence from 10%, reduce it to 5%. I'm going to reduce maybe investment from 18%, and I reduce it to 15%. So that 5% and 3% that I've removed from these 2 things that I've removed automatically now falls under school fees. So automatically school fees now has 8%. Now it depends on the school that you send your children to. If 8% of the income that you have is not enough for school fees, then automatically it means that you now have to do again proper restructuring of these finances. Now, this percentage thing we did now, like I said, is for every 100% that comes into your hand. If you're a salary earner, it means that at the end of the month, you get paid salary. That salary is now your 100%. Okay. So once the salary comes in, or even before the salary comes in, you should have designed this system. So once the money comes, you know where the money is going to. You know the different bank accounts that you're sending this money to. Do you get? So if you're a business person and your money comes in trickles, your money comes in, does not come in at the end of the month, or maybe you do a sort of job, or maybe you even receive gifts from financial gift from people, or somebody just blessed you or anything, then once that money comes in, you know that that one is not the end of the month finances that comes in. That amount that comes in is now 100%. You're now going to do this thing for that amount that has come in. So you're going to do this sharing, you're going to share this money in these percentages. Yeah, anytime money comes into your hand. So once you have created a system, so this percentage that we did today now is a system. Once you have created a system for yourself, sharing of the money is not going to be difficult. So for example, if I have if I've decided that 32% is going to be given to welfare, immediately I'm going to move that money into the welfare account, right? So anytime 100% money comes into my hand, I'm just going to remove 32%. That means the equivalent of 32%, and just move it into the bank account that I've kept aside for welfare. Then I'm also going to right percentage to the platform that I'm using for my investment. So once you have done the work of creating this percentage system for yourself, once the money comes, you're just, the math that you have to do is to calculate the percentage of the money that has come in and put in those accounts. Now, all of this, let's say things like your rent, things like, okay, let me use rent an example. So things like rent or things like saving, the money is not maybe once one flow of income might not do the entire might not add up to what you want to use to pay rent, right? So you, once you have a particular account that you're using to do all of this separation and demarcation, so once the money comes in, you calculate the equivalent in percentages and send it to the account where you're just going to be keeping the money for the rent to keep accruing until you get to the point where the rent is complete and then you pay it. That's also the same thing for savings and investment. Do you get? So do you do all of these things for yourself, do it for your individual life, and then if you have a business also, do it for your business. Your business should also have its own investment. If your business has gotten to that point though, remember I said there are two levels of business. The first level of business is where you are just doing business to survive. And then there's now the part where you're doing business because you want to make more money. So if you are doing business because you just want to survive, you don't necessarily have to do this with your business income. You don't have to separate it. You just see the profit that comes in as then the 100%, and then you do this and do this percentage sharing that we talked about. So do you have any question? Do you have any question? I think I'm done for tonight. So let's attend to the questions that you have so we can call it a day. All right. So I don't think you have questions. Let's see. So let me give you 2 more minutes. Let's see. Perhaps you are typing your question in the chat room. So I'm just going to give 2 more minutes before we continue. So if the tired doesn't have a question, any other person, do you have question? At 8:38, we are going to be calling it a night. I hope you have benefited from this session tonight. Any other question that you have, of course, you can always ask in the WhatsApp community, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to share the response. This video, I believe, is going to be left on the YouTube channel, so you can always come back to watch it and do your calculation again for yourself. Okay. So in the absence of any more questions, we are going to call it a night. We are going to resume. We're going to have another section next month, but someone has to take up the responsibility of reminding me if this class is going to continue. So we're supposed to have another one next month. Today is Akende. I recommended a lot of books on money. Just rewatch this video. I recommended a lot of books on money management. So once you rewatch the video, you'll be able to hear the books that I recommended. Okay. What was I saying? So I'm going. Today is third, I believe. Today is the 3rd of, what's today's date? Okay, today is 4th of February. So we're going to be having one live session every first week of every month. So in the first week of March, or before we get to the first week of March, maybe by the end of February, someone should remind me that we have a class on in the first week of March, and then we're going to attend to it. All right. So thank you all so much for joining. I hope you benefited. Have a beautiful night rest. I love you, and I'm cheering you on. I look forward to seeing all of the awesome things that God is doing through your life. So if you have questions, you can always ask in the WhatsApp community, and I'm going to respond to your questions. I love you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next class. Bye bye.